We in fact on a mission to redefine design. AI is going to be an integral part of our the whole curriculum.
So we are using tools like Visme, Figma with AI plugin, then Midjourney, then we are having Mind with AI, and there are more.
Let's say Sabyasachi in India, or Tarun Tehlani, or Anamika Khanna, you name it, any of the big brands, we all are well connected over there. So we have planned to send our students and experience runway fashion from Paris and Italy and Milan, all of these.
Hi Rahul, hi Sunny.
Hi.
So how is School of Design at Universal AI University, and how is it different from rest of the world?
So as I always say to everyone that we are not teaching design, we in fact on a mission to redefine design, the way we see design, the way we teach design, the way we understand design, and and everybody knows that it is from Universal AI University. So thus AI is going to be an integral part of our the whole curriculum. Let's say we are not seeing AI as something which is some random tools, but how can we incorporate AI as a part of the whole curriculum, the whole process. And then the second thing, which is setting us different from other institutions, is that the world-class faculties, and it's not only the names, not only the persons, but also the way they deliver it. I always say to all of my kids that you go to any of the universities across the world, you learn all the basics same. Be it London or India or US, to learn design, you need to learn all the basics. But who is teaching? How are we teaching? That is what makes it different, right? For an example, let's say English as an example. You have also learned English. We all have learned English. It is the same. The structure is same. How did we learn? It's subject, verb, object. That is the basics, parts of speech. So this is something what we need to understand. Therefore, who is teaching, and then how are we delivering? And then the students are also having the opportunity to work with industry project, live project, and then rather than the same old theoretical education, instead of that we're working on the real-time projects and then industry projects, and then we are also having industry mentors working, coming on campus, giving lectures, giving mentors, and all together the ecosystem has been built in such a way that students will not feel that gap between industry and academia.
So from the first year itself, they will have the exposure to industry, where we have added that one thing in our curriculum that at the end of the semester, they will have to go to the industry and do the small internship, and they'll have to experience the industry environment. They should get the exposure that how the industry works, how people work in industry. So that is something I feel there are very few universities or institutions they are looking into it, and we have kept it as our the main key kind of a thing, which makes us different, or maybe an attractive one than others.
So otherwise what happens is that we always will have to say that there is a gap between all the time. Everybody starts with the same sentence that we are bridging the gap between the industry and the academia. But until and unless we work on the grassroots level, where is the problem and how can we bridge it? It is not just to say that we are doing it. Rather than that, we are literally doing it. Therefore, we have industry is connected throughout. So let's say you learn something today, and then tomorrow you are going to the industry, and then your implication is done over there, and then the mentorship from the industry is getting. So the student at the end of 4th year, when you go for placement, our students are well prepared for the industry, or for even for starting their own business, or for the higher studies. So the curriculum is also designed in such a way. So these are the things making us different from other universities.
Yeah. Sure, absolutely. I think it also goes with the vision of Universal AI having, the only university in Asia where there are 60 CEOs on the board, and the only university where Chancellor himself has been a global CEO. So I think industry and academics are not two different divisions.
Absolutely.
It's in one together.
Yes.
Sure, absolutely. And what are the different specializations in School of Design?
So our degree is called B.Des with AI, and we have 4 specializations in fashion design, communication design, product design, and strategic design management. And as I said earlier, all the specializations are AI integrated, industry driven, and the whole experience will be that tomorrow you step in and then you are ready to rock.
So very different from the rest of the world.
Absolutely.
We are seeing that we have B.Des with AI. So how is AI being integrated into the curriculum?
So we are using tools like Visme, Figma with AI plugin, then Midjourney, then we are having Mind with AI, and there are more. There are so many.
Yeah.
So
would you
we
like
can
to
add
add
them.
any of them? More?
So let's say Miro with AI or Mind Map AI, and all these tools. Let's say these are like specific tools, right? But how are we looking at AI and how are we integrating it? As I told you even before, all of these are machine language, right? AL and ML. So let's look at it from the scratch. Tomorrow it can be an XYZ new tool. So our students will be able to use whichever the tools comes in market, whichever the company comes with new ones. So our students will be able to use those, integrate it in their career, because they'll be learning from the scratch, understand the grammar of AI, and then use it. And at the same time, we are also in conversations with one company from Italy, and crafting something which is exclusive for us and then integrate it in our curriculum specifically for fashion. At the same time, let's say Clo3D to that matter, which is a very widely used software, and at the same time it is also AI integrated. So we are using such AI tools and softwares also. So this is how we are using AI in our journey.
So what are the career pathways and opportunities for the students of design at Universal AI?
So in communication design, when we talk about communication design, it is a big umbrella. We cover so many things in communication design. I'll mention few where students can go and make their career. Is the graphic design, UI UX designer, then they can become filmmaker, they can become animator, they can become data visualizers, they can become illustrators, they can become photographers. So these are few which I have mentioned over here, but there are so many other fields where they can go and make their careers. So in product design, we bridge aesthetics, functionality and innovation. When it comes to the product design, it is always human centered, and whatever we create for the betterness of the society, and we try to give ease to the day-to-day life of the human being. So when we talk about the careers in product design, students can go and work in home appliances production companies, then they can go in companies who are working in sustainability, then they can go and work as consultants in product design companies, and there are so many other options when it comes to the product design where they can work. Automobile is one of them. We can consider that also as a product. So there are different sectors in product design itself, so students can go and make their career.
Right. For me, product design as a layman is like anything which you have in front of you is a product.
Exactly.
So
whatever you see around
it.
So whatever you see around, we can say that is
Right.
product. So it is design. It is designed for us. It is designed for make our life easy.
Right.
And product is also having a very industrial phase also. Of course, it is for us as well as it is having two sides. It's like two sides of a coin, right? So let's say a product designer, which is a very well-known avenue for anyone. At the same time, any industries, right? Product designer is someone basically does, be it a service or a product for a user. So essentially what happens, it is for be it the industry or the common man around. So that is where the default avenue is. And other than that, let's say technically they can do in terms of R&D consultant or packaging design or UX designer, as he said, let's say consultancy or and to that matter, let's not forget even they can be an educator.
Yeah.
Right? So
They can get into research also.
yeah. So all of these are the avenues. And then let's say as we have 4 specializations, we also have fashion. Now fashion is something which the entire world knows very well. We are very done and dusted. Everybody knows what happens in fashion, and the name itself, fashion, and then default you become a fashion designer first. Otherwise, you can also be in terms of visual merchandising. You can be in research, or you can be a illustrator. You can be in the area of textiles, or else you can be let's say costume designer, or else entrepreneur. And then, as I said, educator, right? These are some of the areas where a fashion student can also try their careers. And then now the industry is growing every now and then. It's growing, so avenues are widely open for everyone. It's about how are we creating our portfolio strong, and then you can be well placed anywhere in the industry. And also what happens, today's design has become very multidisciplinary. Therefore, it's not like I've done fashion, I can only be a fashion designer, right? You have opportunities in other industries also. Let's say, for an example, the way he said communication design. It's a larger umbrella, as he said, right? Now, communication design, we cannot avoid. They have opportunities in every industry, be the textiles or the metal or the mining or anywhere.
Right.
Anywhere they have the opportunity.
Anything which is available in the market has to be communicated.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
that's where the role
Yes,
plays.
yes.
Basically, we design to communicate.
Right.
And the same way product also. It's no, it's the industry has become very multidisciplinary.
Right.
No more we have to worry about will I get job? Will there be opportunities? And I always say to my kids always that make your portfolio very strong. You will never face unemployment because you have nurtured your skills. You made yourself very strong. Then certainly you have opportunities, right?
And what is happening in design education nowadays, that we are again getting into the layers of the any particular subject or any particular stream, though we are trying to get into the details of it. So there are more subjects and sub categories of that particular subjects are coming, the way the strategic design management has come.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are the careers for strategic design management?
So this is something, let's say, kind of a new baby for
exactly,
Indian market.
It is not never heard of.
Yeah. So for Indian market, it is kind of new. So the first job profile of any designer who has done strategic design management, as the name suggests, basically they work with strategies, right? So essentially, you be the design consultant, or you be the service designer. That is something which is, you work with the firms and then design the strategies for how can I sell my product or the service in a better way as the market demands. So it is understanding about user, and then accordingly you curating it for the service industry or the product or any industry. That is again like communication designer. You can fit in anywhere in the spectrum. It's not mandatory that as a designer you have done strategic design management, then you can only be in the design industry. No, you can be a part of a medical industry, you can be a part of pharma, you can be a part of education industry. Now we have to say education is also an industry, right?
Yeah.
So or else you can be a part of any sort of, you name it, any of the industries, you can be a part of it, because you basically bridging the gap, or let's say you are the one actually working with the pulse of the market and understanding it via doing either as a trend forecaster or as a R&D consultant or as a strategic consultant or even a freelancer. You have huge demand, let's say mining industry, or even for government projects you can be a part of it. So these are the avenues for even strategic design.
No, consulting is required in every domain in today's time, and all the companies hire consultants to do everything end to end, from what to create and how to create and how to deliver.
Yeah.
So it's end to end role, which is there in the market as well. So I want to add up and ask that how is Universal AI supporting the kids to dream big or to make the careers in real life? So can you please elaborate a little on that?
So I'll have to say the legacy of our university. As we said, we are a 15 years old organization. Therefore, it's very clear that we are very well connected, and also recommended by 60 CEOs. And as we said in the beginning, that our chancellor he himself has served as a global CEO. So it is very evident that we are well connected. Now, coming to School of Design specifically, all of us come from the biggest alma mater of our country. So that is another, we all are well connected. You go to anywhere in the country, one or the other, top-notch person in the, any of the company or the design studios or somewhere we are all connected. So that is also easy for us to bring in the top-notch companies. Let's say Microsoft, let's say Google, let's say Deloitte, or all of these are the, fancy names for young kids over there, right? So we all are, the entire university and the faculties, all of us are well connected over there. And then let's name it international brands for fashion like Gucci or LV or Tom Ford, to that matter. One of my friends is working there. And then let's say Sabyasachi in India, or Tarun Tehlani, or Anamika Khanna. You name it, any of the big brands. We all are well connected over there. There is no, it's very easy for us to bring them on campus and then give master classes, give internships, and then,
or we can send our students to their studios.
So during the 4 year of the program, are there internships and training available?
Yes, they'll start from the first year itself.
Yes. So how have we planned it? So the first semester itself, the students are supposed to do mandatory internships. The reason behind it, every organization, every educational institute says that we are bridging the gap between the academia and the industry. But we are actually doing it by giving one master classes, second mandatory internships, which starts from the first semester. A question often comes is that, do they really need internships in the first semester itself?
I was also about to ask this.
Yeah. So what is the requirement? What is the need of it? Because you learn a lot of theory and practical, a lot of things, new things. Right after 12th, you are coming to the campus and then learning a lot of new knowledge. But what is the application of it? Or else, let's say, what is the minimum requirement of an employee, right? Basically, you be a team player. Right. Let's not even say that an employee, but you basically need to have a quality of a team player. How will you do that? Not by doing group assignments. You literally go and have the real-time world experience, work with a group of people in a company, and then experience it. This is the first learning. Of course, we are teaching all the basics of design, but this is something which you only learn from the industry, right? Or how to understand a briefing. A faculty or an instructor or a mentor giving briefing is a different altogether an experience, whereas in a team leader is giving a briefing is a different. So in the first semester, what is the basic thing is that you understand very basics of all the professional practices. As you progress in the further semesters and specializations, your internships are going to be more centered, according to the specializations. So we have very mandatory projects and internships as a part of our curriculum. And other than that, a lot of master classes and industrial visits. And then we also have exchange programs with foreign universities. And we are also having internships planned abroad, let's say a very basic one too, even the fancy favorite one of mine, let's say fashion for Paris and fashion London, fashion week, or Paris fashion week. So we have, planned to send our students and experience runway fashion from Paris and Italy and all of these. So altogether, of course, the helping hands is always there for our students, and then make them ready for industry, be as a entrepreneur or as a designer working in the industry. All sort of whatever is required for our students we are giving.
Great.
Yeah.